Hi, I'm Casey Mraz, and you're listening to the Lawyer Mastermind podcast, where we help attorneys grow their law firms by interviewing experts who can fast track their success. Hi, everyone. I'm Casey Mraz with the Legal Marketing Mastermind podcast, where we dive into the weeds with practicing attorneys and subject matter experts to find what's driving business for successful law firms. And today I'm thankful to be joined by Adam Rossen from the Rossen Law Firm. Adam, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Casey. I'm so excited to be here. You know, with everything that's going on, it's fun to talk to somebody and try something new. So I'm
Absolutely.
happy.
Well, I'm glad that you could make it. And Adam, as I understand it, you run a criminal defense and DUI firm in South Florida. Is that right?
Yes. So we've had the firm for 12 years. I was a prosecutor in Fort Lauderdale for 2, and then just in 2008, right before the last great economic collapse, I had this great idea of starting my own law firm. So we survived that, and we've been not just surviving, but thriving and doing pretty well. And yeah, we've been down here.
Well, that's incredible. And that's awesome that you're thriving in this. And so, I think the burning question that most people would start off with is, has the number of leads dropped for your law firm? And what about like the case intake? Have you been signing cases?
So yes, of course, our industry, I don't know what the numbers are, 70, 80, 90% down. I mean, they're down significantly. If my clients aren't being social, if they're not going to the bars, the clubs, if they're not doing dumb things with alcohol and drugs out in public, and if you combine that with the police not doing proactive policing anymore, right, having DUI checkpoints, actively looking for things, then yeah, the industry is down tremendously. But we're just being as creative as we can and kind of pivoting a little bit with some of the marketing that we do. And I think when we come out of this, especially third quarter and fourth quarter, when we look at the number of arrests compared to third quarter and fourth quarter of 2019, I think it's going to be really high.
Yeah.
The question is are they going to have money to hire me, or
Right.
hire a criminal defense lawyer as opposed to court appointed or public defender?
Yeah, no, and that's a good point as far as, the money side goes. But also I was just thinking about, do you think people are going to be crazier when they get back out? I mean,
oh, absolutely. People already have cabin fever. We do a lot of marketing with therapists already.
Okay.
And just from the talk, talking to the therapists that I know, I mean, they're seeing and hearing some crazy stuff, mental health, substance abuse, right? And when you confine people to their homes, it's not a good situation. So yeah, we're going to see a tremendous increase.
Sure. So are you working and do you get referrals from therapists that have gone remote and are doing sessions like this over Zoom or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So a lot of the marketing that we do, or at least a portion of it, is geared toward therapists. I've done a lot of, continuing education credits for them, lectures, speaking engagements. We market to them. We're in their groups. So whether it's them going remote and doing telehealth or whether them seeing people in person, we do get a good amount of therapists who, their client has an issue and they say, hey, well, we have the right firm to help you out. So, yeah. Got
it. Okay. And as you mentioned, things are, maybe down right now, but looking good moving forward. In your area, have the courts adapted? Are they open or are they on some sort of hard shut or?
Right. So in South Florida, we're used to this a little bit with hurricanes, but of course, our chief judges, they'll wait. We'll have a hurricane that's about to hit us Saturday morning, and Friday afternoon, they'll say, all right, we're going to close for a few days. They wait to the last possible minute. Although for this, they've been a lot better. So we are closed through the entire month of May.
Okay.
They made small incremental closures. At first, I think it was 2 weeks through the month of March. Then they did it through most of April. And then a few weeks ago, they just said, you know what, we're shutting this down through the entire month of May. But we are holding essential court hearings, Zoom, over Zoom and over video conferencing and over the phone.
Okay, got it. Well, that's good to hear. And then, so before all of this happened, so we're talking 4 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, whatever, when you were marketing, what channels were bringing in the most leads for your firm? How are you getting business?
Yeah, well, we were rocking and rolling, actually. The beginning of the year is usually a very good time for us. We do a good combination of in-person, kind of old-fashioned networking and marketing, and then we do a lot online. We have a pretty good online presence. We have over, I think, 350 five-star reviews now. They're spread out. They're not all concentrated in one area, but we have a lot with AVVO. We have a lot with Google. So we have 2 offices. So the offices are in different cities. So we get a good amount through Google My Business from each office, and just SEO. We have a lot of targeted blog posts for very specific targeted areas, and we'll get people who find us online to read the blog post too.
Okay.
Yeah, we also do a lot of other stuff. We do a mailed monthly newsletter to our herd. We do some email marketing, social media. So we try to encompass everything.
Sure. Okay. So it sounds like you're really focused on SEO then as a big portion of that. Are you involved in the paid side of it all with any paid ads, or just?
Right. So that's a great question. I've been able to grow the firm without ever doing that. I'm not opposed to it. It's just we haven't needed it. So I don't know. I've thought about it now, because while people are backing away from it and canceling their spend, I think it could be a good time, maybe especially for some the domestic cases. And I think there's going to be a spike in child abuse cases and really just kind of any at-home crimes. So we were thinking if we can narrowly tailor it, have a lot of good negative keywords, maybe we can pick up some traction at a good price point. But in 12 years, I've never needed to do it. So that's been pretty good.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah. And, with, Google ads, for example, they're based on a demand platform. And so recently those had really gone down in cost per clicks, but people are having more confidence, it seems. So it seems like they're coming back up now. So that would be interesting. And then since this has hit, have you pivoted or changed anything in your marketing? And what does that look like now?
Right. So we've done a lot. And like I said, first 2 weeks, really the whole year we've been slammed busy. And the first 2 weeks of March, it was going really well. And we were still kind of, is this coming? Is this not? What's going to happen? And then kind of all of a sudden like that, it's just here and courts closed. So maybe I had a half a day of kind of wallowing and being upset. And then I just brought everybody together and I said, all right, all hands on deck. We have 3 paralegals. 2 of them, I said, you're now marketing assistants under our marketing manager, and you're having a new job, and it is what it is, right? We're all going to pitch in and figure some things out. So I put the 2 girls on a very big project that we've had. We wanted to write out all of our different practice areas, have a different page for every single legal defense. Probably a good 6-month project. And I just said, you know what, we're going to do it now. What else do we have to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we did that. We started that. We're still doing it, of course. The first week we did a bunch of gas calls, which I guess that's what some people call them, like AKA give a shit calls, where we just called every single client that we have and said, how are you? What can we do for you? Do you need anything? And, we gave a little update on the case and the court closures and stuff. And then we did the same with our former clients. And so has that directly translated into any cases? Well, it translated into 1 lead, but we got tremendous feedback from our clients, our loyal clients. They loved it, that we were just calling to check in and see how they're doing. So that helped a lot. Just as, again, great customer service. That's why we have a criminal defense firm has 350 reviews online, which I think is pretty rare. So we did that. We've, what else have we done? I wrote a list for you because I figured you'd ask.
Yeah, no worries.
We've done a really cool video series. So my partner, Manny, had a fantastic idea. And he's like, Adam, me, him, and our marketing manager, Megan, we had a meeting. And he's like, you're hearing on CNN, on Fox News, all this different stuff. And mostly it's negative. So he said, I want to do something positive, and I want to ask the people on the front lines. So what we did is we've been having, once or twice a week, we're putting out video interviews that we're doing, kind of like a podcast or like what we're doing now, really.
Okay.
And of course, we had big plans for later this year to have the fancy podcast.
Sure.
And we just said, hey, $15 a month with Zoom. This is our new podcast.
Get it going. Get it started. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. We don't need the fancy backdrop or the fancy equipment. Just minimum viable product. Get something out there. So he interviewed a COVID tent nurse down at one of the hospitals in Miami. And that was really eye-opening as far as what she's seeing on the front lines. I interviewed an estate planning lawyer about some of the necessary paperwork that you need if you think, if you do get sick, right? Stuff like that. And he was able to send it out to his group of people, and we promoted it, with ours, with our email list and on social media. So just stuff like that, trying to be a good community leader too.
I love that. And you've touched on a lot of things, kind of explaining what you've been doing that I want to follow up on. But first is, that customer service side of things. I think that, the fact that you have 350 reviews, that speaks to something itself that is pretty rare, for a law firm your size, very rare, I would say.
Right.
And, that's the opportunity that you're really going to have to pivot, right now, or set yourself apart. I guess not pivot because you're already doing it, but really being there for your clients. So I love that you called them and were there for them, and you were doing something that wasn't like self-serving marketing, because I feel like that's going to pay dividends on your brand, in years to come. And so you're onto something there. And then also with the video interviews too, I feel like, especially interviewing like a nurse that's on the front line, did you do any promotion for that or get any exposure? I feel like there's a lot of opportunity there, again, from a brand perspective, that would interest people. So I'm just curious to hear how that went.
Yeah, well, we didn't do any paid promotion with Facebook ads or anything like that. We just put it out there. We put out the full interview, and then we had about, I'd say maybe 5 or 7, short bite-sized clips that we put out, and it got really good organic reach. We all shared it.
Awesome.
A lot of people shared it, liked it, commented, not only on the big one, but also on the little clips as well. And really, with everybody that we've interviewed, we've done that. And that's what you said about branding. I really thought this was a time, instead of the in your face, me, mm-hmm. hire me. It was good to just give information, show that we're loyal community leaders, right? Where else, do you get that from?
Yeah.
And exactly, more of a branding play, which I don't think is always the right move for lawyers, but I think in this situation, it is.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it always depends as part of an overarching strategy. I think I'm an SEO guy at heart, so that's, what I'm always going to talk about. But I think that's where we're going to see the shift now in the coming years, is where you're doing really good SEO, but you also have a really strong brand, and people remember you, and they have that choice now. And with information so easily read or easily available online, reviews, like we were already talking about, this whole package, I think, is going to come together more and more over the years. And so, again, I love what you're doing with this community driven stuff, but I feel like, and I haven't looked at your strategy at all, to be fair, but you probably are already doing some of that with the website content that you're talking about. I'm assuming you're probably answering questions and providing that information. So in a way, you're already probably doing, this brand stuff from an SEO perspective, right?
Right. Yeah, we are. We have a lot of FAQs on the site. There's always things that I want to do better and I want to do more of. And this time, because and the way our firm is right now, there's 6 of us. There's 2 lawyers, 3 staff, and our director of marketing and community relations. So I'm still doing a lot of the legal work. So with this, it's been a nice break where I can really focus more on the vision and really the overall marketing scheme and the planning. Because I really actually enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can tell. And where really, my partner Manny, myself, and Megan can really brainstorm, have meetings, and think about things. Now, it's not always perfect. Sometimes I'll just have something random come up, and I'll say, "Ooh, let's do this," "Ooh, let's do that,"
sure.
As opposed to not having it be part of the overall strategy. But yeah, it's been good. We before we went remote, so I'd say maybe second week of March, I said to Megan, I said, let's write a few articles about the coronavirus and just see what happens. So we wrote pretty early on a blog about, can you be arrested for breaking quarantine? Mm-hmm. And that alone, I think in the last 30 days, we have 2,000 entrances to our website from across the country just on that one blog post.
Yeah.
So it's showing up first page of Google pretty much everywhere. So it's all across the country. So pretty cool on that. And we did another one about, could you be arrested for intentional spread of the virus? Like if you purposely coughed on somebody or spit on them or whatever. So, and that one hasn't gotten, it's probably about 800, I'd say, entrances to our website in the last 30 days from that alone.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, no, that's awesome. And you're definitely on the right strategy there. You're providing that value. And that's the real question that people are obviously typing. You're getting the traffic for that. And there's got to be a lot of those right now, so it sounds like blogging has always been a part of your SEO strategy. So I'm assuming you have a lot of content, geared around a lot of these topics as well.
Right. Yeah, it has. And we've kind of ramped it up even more now. Now, look, not everything has worked perfectly, right? We wrote one about domestic violence that I thought was really good, and it just hasn't gotten a lot of traction. Maybe in 3 weeks, we've gotten 20 entrances to the site from it. A little disappointing because I think domestic cases right now are on the rise with people at home. And, of course, there's going to be some people fighting and squabbling. But that's why you try and you just do it and test it. And, no one's ever going to say, oh, you screwed up by doing that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't do it, that's what's going to be the problem. Like, for example, I'm watching the NFL draft Thursday night with, along with, I think, a record 15 million people or whatever it was. And they kept talking about Tom Brady going into the wrong house. I don't know if you heard the story, but Tom Brady went to pick up his playbook from his offensive coordinator's house. And he went to the house next door and he just walked right in.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy sitting in his kitchen and sees Tom Brady walking into his house. So while they're talking about that Thursday, the NFL draft, I said, you know what, screw it. Let me just write a blog post about it. And so I did. Have we gotten much traction from it? No, but okay. I thought maybe we would, maybe we wouldn't. So I wrote a little thing about, could Tom Brady be charged with burglary or with trespass?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Why not, right?
You have nothing to lose. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that might have, more of like a social lift in front of the right audience, perhaps. But when you're writing that blog, did you, take the scenario and then provide your legal perspective? It sounds like.
Right. Yeah. We kind of laid it out. We talked about, did it fit the elements for burglary? Did it fit the elements for trespassing? So I thought we got some good keywords with that. And then I kind of gave my legal analysis and how I would attack and defend the case and what I thought the ultimate outcome would be.
Okay.
And we posted it on social as well.
Awesome. Well, cool.
Most of the responses from that were either I hate Brady or I love Brady.
I could see that. That's very targeted, and people are going to have their opinion already made up on that one.
Yeah,
it's funny. So let's talk a little bit about communication then. When people are contacting your firm, I guess two questions. One is, which channel is getting you the most contacts, like live chat? I know you have that on your website, calls, email forms, whatever. And then which one, if you track it, has the highest conversions for you?
So right now, live chat last 30 to 45 days has been through the roof. But I think that's also because just our traffic in general has gone up from those two main blog posts.
Okay.
Usually in normal times, I would say just phone calls. Phone calls are usually, we get a lot more phone calls than we do either contact submissions or live chats. I think our phone calls still convert very well. But I think in normal times, the live chat does convert very well as well. I don't have, but I don't have specific numbers to give you. Okay. But I know when we get the qualified live chats, those are pretty good as well.
For sure. And do you do the live chat in-house, or using a service that you recommend?
So we use a service. We use Engage.
Okay.
They've been, I know there's a bunch you can use. They've been good. Anytime we have any suggestion, they've fixed it, they've implemented it. I don't think one critique, I don't think they're very forward-facing or very progressive, where they've come to me and said, hey, Adam, let's do this, or here's a way to make it better. I have to think about things and then talk to them. Mm-hmm. Like they had one service that I said, hey, can we do this? And they're like, oh yeah, we've had that for 6 months. It's like, well, when were you going to tell me? But other than that, they've been good. And I've never had a problem with saying, hey, this isn't a valid lead. Can you not charge me for that one? So I think in 2.5 years, they've never said no to me, which I appreciate, which is nice. Because if it's like now we're getting a lot of people from California and New Jersey and Tennessee saying, hey, I got this situation. Someone coughed on me. We got a live chat this morning from somebody from Georgia saying a police officer got within 1 foot or a few inches from their face and was yelling and screaming at them and kind of spitting up while they're yelling and screaming. They want to know what they can do. So, of course, we shouldn't have to pay for that because that's not a real lead. And they've been great with that.
Yeah, and all live chat services seem to have different models. Engage's pay per lead, per qualified lead. So it's good that they've honored that. And yeah, I think that's I've had a lot of mixed bag experiences with a lot of different chat services. Engage, has been around the block for a long time. And there's now some AI ones coming out that you can kind of help craft that conversation a little bit better, which is interesting, like Gideon. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes over the years. And do you do any text communication, or is that not something that you have available?
So we text with our clients all the time.
Okay.
Normally, as far as like a text to us, text instead of call, we don't really do that. I've considered it in the past, and the way it was explained to me is it was going to go right to my cell, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. Now maybe the technology is a little different, or maybe there's some new companies, but I think in my field, I think that's actually very important. So now that you're bringing it up, it's something I'm going to want to look into.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see how it would be a problem if it was going to your cell phone, because like with any online contact, whether it's a call or live chat or email, whatever, they may not just be contacting you. They might be jumping to another website. So speed, of course, is of the essence, and that's the benefit of a staff service as opposed to doing it in-house. But yeah, so I haven't done too much with text yet, but I'm exploring it more and talking to other people about it. So I'm always interested to hear feedback there.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Actually, I'm going to put that on the ever-growing list.
Awesome. And then let's kind of like just finish up talking a little bit about that ever-growing list. Let's say that you had like an unlimited budget. What would you focus on right now, and then maybe after this is over, to really just grow your firm?
That's a good question. Unlimited budget, I would say, I definitely would dip my toe into Google AdWords and some more paid traffic, maybe even Facebook ads as well. I would probably hire another attorney to replace me from going to court and doing the day-to-day, so I can then focus more on working on the business as instead of being in the business.
Yeah.
So I'd say that would probably be next, is definitely fire me as the attorney and promote me to more of CEO, and even I like working on the cases. I like being the chief strategist. I like meeting with clients. I like sharing in the wins.
Sure.
Part of me I do like some of the sales process as well, but I would say replace me from all of those and just allow me to really focus on how can we double or triple the business and really, really scale it.
Got it. And then actually just another question came up because I was just thinking about video as you were talking earlier about the video interviews and stuff. Have you done any like videos of client testimonials and things like that? Have you?
So we did a round maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We had it really nicely produced, and it went pretty well. I've wanted to do a bunch more, and I think I have about 15 on our site, which again, I think is pretty rare to have 15 clients of criminal defense cases say, sure, Adam, I'll go on video and tell the world what you did without even covering my face. But we got releases, and they were, and I called about 30 to 40 of them, and I said, look, tell me no. If you are in the least bit uncomfortable, just tell me no. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of them said, Adam, I love you to death. I'll write an online review, but I just don't want my face there.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you. Like, be honest, and then a bunch said, you tell me when and where, and I'll be there. So I'd like to do another round. It was fun. It was actually very humbling to sit there and listen to what people said, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a eulogy in a way, but I got to be there.
All right, well, at least you got to see that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of value to that, and that's social proof. And so I'm glad that you did that and took advantage of that, because other people that are in that situation are really going to be able to relate to that, and it's something that we've seen a lot of success on. So, man, it looks like you have your hands in a lot of different things. You're doing a lot. That's super awesome, and I love that you're not just like self-serving, saying, "Hey, hire me," but instead providing, not only the social proof that you've done great work for your clients and that they're willing to share that, but also answering these questions. It's really incredible. And I feel like you're on the right track. And then just last question, you said you have an in-house marketing manager. Are they responsible for all of this, or are you working with multiple people, kind of tying them together? And what have you found best for your firm, and why?
So Megan, she runs the marketing now, and pretty much everything goes through her. I like to say, it's really her and I in tandem. I'll come up with some different ideas, and she has some amazing ideas, and so does Manny. But she does most of the, or if not all of the implementation for it, which has been great because that's been one of the things that allowed me to scale just from myself and a legal assistant and 2 people in the firm to 6. When you think about it, it's a little scary saying, well, geez, I'm going to hire somebody full time, right? Am I going to have enough work for them to do? But very quickly, and my first, Megan's not the first that we've had, and the first one that we had, she was part-time, and it kind of allowed me to dip my toe into it and certain little projects here and there. But once we brought her on, I was like, my mind just runs. We have a lot of things. So that's the way I chose to do it. Other people have had tremendous success with hiring different agencies. Of course, I think the benefit of the agency is that they know what they're doing and there's really no training involved. Whereas I had to work with Megan, we had to train, we had to do a lot of different things for her to, and she has a background in marketing, but she's also a journalist. And I wanted somebody who is an excellent writer with that background. And then she's only been with me full time since December, so 4 or 5 months, but she's fantastic. And, we're just trying to take over the world. So
that's awesome. Well,
yeah. So for anybody, it's just whatever fits them.
For sure. Yeah. No, every situation's different. And that's just one of the things I always like to hear because, on the same token, people have had really bad experiences hiring agencies. And, the same would be true for hiring in-house for some people. So I'm glad that you found somebody with that background, especially, journalism, since you're interested in SEO, like that's a big part of what this is. And also not only on the writing, but the outreach side. So it sounds like you made a solid hire. Right.
And it doesn't, you're exactly right. Just because you bring somebody in, it could be a complete nightmare. It took us a little while to find the right one too. So
sure. Awesome. Well, Adam, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time that you took to share all this insight with me. And, I wish you the best of success with your firm. Is there anything else you want to end with?
Yeah. So I'll tell you this, Casey. So for anybody that's listening to this and just kind of not sure, spinning their wheels, trying to, they have an idea, but they have trouble implementing it. Like obviously there's a million different sayings, right? Nike, just do it, whatever. But a few weeks ago, I forget what I was doing or where I saw this. And you know how you can hear something 15, 20, 30, 40 times and it doesn't leave an impression in you until you hear it again in the right moment. And it was a quote from Teddy Roosevelt from over 100 years ago. It's one of his famous quotes, "The Man in the Arena." And you can probably look it up, or anybody can Google it. Actually went on Etsy and bought a print of it to put in my office. But it basically just says, people will criticize you, people will mock you, they'll say anything, but the man in the arena is the one who's actually doing the work and trying, and you're going to fail. You're going to fail and you're going to fail. But as long as you're in that arena, fighting, battling, you're going to be fine. You're going to have success. So for anybody who's out there and down and not sure what to do, just do something. Keep going, trying. There's a lot of failures that I've had. I'm sure you've had, right? We've all had, and you just have to have the courage to say, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just going to try it. And especially in the legal field, I feel like we're ingrained in our head in the first day of law school that the answer is no, right? I know from my law school, the first day they're telling us all the ways that we won't pass the bar or get disbarred, instead of telling us all the ways to be a great lawyer or run a great business. So I would just say, don't listen to them and just do it. Just have faith and trust in yourself and do it.
That's awesome advice, Adam. And this is coming from somebody who started their business basically in the last recession, it sounds like. So no, that's really
little did I know. But you fight and you claw and you survive and you grow.
No, that's awesome. And I can relate to that, and I have plenty of failures consistently. But my little mantra is always fail, but fail fast. So I don't know, just something there to leave you with. But Adam, again, thank you so much for all of your insight and your expertise. I appreciate you joining us today, and I look forward to talking to you again on our podcast. So
absolutely. Have me anytime. I can talk about anything.
All right. Will do. Thanks, Adam.
My pleasure.